Hello children, this is video 17. So by listening to the numbers of the videos, I think you'll get afraid, but I can't help it. Somehow we have to do the lesson with number of videos with only average 10 minutes. So that's why it is prolonging like this. Okay. So now I'm thinking of doing worked problems of exercise 2.2. 2.1 exercise you should complete. Everything I have the other day I have discussed about it, and you have to complete it. Then now worked examples of exercise 2.2. I'm just just tell orally, or some I may do. See, for example, example 1, page. Example 1, page 34. Example 1, page 34 I'm giving here. It is just that I had done just now that AD by, you can take AD by AB, AE by AC in that figure. The figure, you can take the ratios in any manner, but you have to be little careful there, I had told just in the previous video. Okay. So, see, I have drawn the figure here. AD by AB is equal to AE by AC you can take, or AB by AD equal to AC by AE you can take. Of course, it will hold good for the other two sides also, this DE and BC also. So, and also intercepted triangle, and I told you it applies to triangle AD and ABC, that what is that, corollary of BPT. Okay, now I won't repeat that much. So that how it comes, they have shown in the example 1. Very easily they have done. You can easily understand. See it properly and write it in your book. Write it in your fair book. Okay. Then example 2. Let us come to the example 2. Okay. Example 2, see, it's a trapezium. So example 2 I am doing now. So you should try to understand. It's after all a worked example. So ABCD is a trapezium, they are telling there. So ABCD is a trapezium. I have drawn here. I am drawing here. You know, in the board at least we'll draw big figures, everything will do. But here I can't help it. I have to do a small one. ABCD is a trapezium, they have given. And with AB parallel to CD. You can see in the figure also. Then E and F are points on the which sides, on AD and BC. The E and F are points on, we'll take here now E and F. Let us take anywhere we can take. So on AD and BC we have to take points E and F. In the example 2, if you keep the book in front of you, you will come to know there. You will come to know. And then they have given such that EF is parallel to AB, they have given. So this is there even in the PDF. This problem is there. If you should if you don't understand here, you may understand there also. But even then I am just telling you orally little bit. I'll be telling, that's all. So now see what we should do. What they have asked in this problem, you can read there. Such that EF is parallel to AB, and show that. So to prove that, in this problem, to show or to prove both are same, you have to prove that AE by ED is equal to BF by FC. You have to show in that problem AE by ED is equal to BF by FC. This is a trapezium. It's not a triangle like this one. It's a trapezium they are telling. So you know that AB is parallel to CD here, and also they have given that this EF is parallel to AB. EF is parallel to AB. So these all things we know now in this figure. Now how to prove it? In order to prove this, you know, AE by ED, BF by FC means you have to do one construction here. You have to join AC. You have to join AC. Now we are going to apply here nothing but Thales theorem. Now when we join AC, let it cut EF at G. So let it cut at G. Let it cut EF at G. Okay. Now see what has happened. We have got here, now the proof starts. AB is parallel to DC, we know that, and EF is parallel to AB, we know also that. So when when AB is parallel to DC and EF is parallel to AB, EF will also be parallel to DC. You have learned this point in some 8th or 9th standards. A line parallel to what is that? A same line parallel to two different lines which are parallel to each other, then this line also is parallel to those lines. Such a postulate you have heard, you have learnt in some class. Okay, so AB is parallel to DC and EF is parallel to AB. Again, we know that. So what happens? EF is parallel to DC. We get EF is parallel to DC. Because lines, they have given here in the bracket. Lines parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. Lines which are parallel to the same line. Lines parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. So EF is parallel to AB and AB is parallel to DC. So what has happened? EF will be parallel to DC. That point you have learned in some class. Now what you should do is in triangle ADC you should take. In triangle ADC what happens, you know, this EG, it is a part of EF. Now we have got the point that EF is parallel to DC also. We have already proved that by that axiom or postulate. So this part of it also will be parallel to DC. So EG will be parallel to DC. Now when EG will be parallel to DC, let us come to our Thales theorem. What our Thales theorem says, when in triangle ADC, when a line is parallel to the one side of the triangle, it will be proportional. No, it will divide the other two sides in the same proportion. Okay, so proof will start like that. Of course, proof is given in your textbook very nicely, but I am just teaching you how it is. I am just telling you that. That's all. So in triangle ADC, we are applying the Thales theorem, and EG is parallel to DC. Therefore, what happens is, I'll just write the points. You have to write down from the textbook or solution book. AE by ED is equal to AG by GC. Now this has come right only from Thales theorem, it has come. We have written the Thales theorem here. EG is parallel to DC, therefore AE by ED is equal to AG by GC. Now same thing, you will take the triangle here ACB. So this was in triangle ADC. What you wrote here, this was in triangle ADC. Now you apply the Thales theorem to triangle ABC. ABC, there GF will be parallel to AB. GF will be parallel to AB. Therefore, you get, I will take the point like this. CG by AG. CG by AG is equal to CF by BF. See what I am doing. So I am applying Thales theorem because base is there. This line is parallel to AB there. Therefore, it will divide the other two sides proportionally. So CG by AG, by Thales theorem I am writing. CG by AG is equal to CF by BF. Now what happens is, I am continuing this here in the next page. CG by this one, no. Now what I can do is, in maths, I can take the this one, what is the reciprocal of it in the second one, in the reciprocal I will take. So AG by, that means AG by CG is equal to BF by CF. I can write it. So now this is just, I have made ulta here, and that is our third equation. I hope you can see. Now what happens is, by 1 and 2 you see now. By 1 and 2 what happens you see. By 1 and 2 you see here AG by GC. By 1 and 3, sorry, take 1 and 3. AG by GC or CG, whatever it is equal to AE by ED in 1 and it is equal to BF by CF in 3. So same thing. See here, this is same. So same thing. AG by CG is equal to AE by ED and it is also equal to BF by CF. In by 1 and 3 we can say that, therefore AE by ED is equal to BF by CF. This was the thing what we had to prove there. FC means it is CF only. That's no problem at all. ED I may write DE, no problem. So finally we have proved this problem. I'm just told you like that, and when you see the textbook also you may understand still clearly. More than my explanation, you may understand it still nicely. Now comes to example 3. Okay. So example 3, when you learn all these things, whichever problem comes in the exam, you will be able to do. So that's why they give so many problems. We must make you understand. That's all. Now see example 3. Come to the example 3 now. See the figure there and what they have marked there. In figure 2.16, PS by SQ is equal to PT by TR they have given. Now it's a very nice problem. It is related to the converse of Thales theorem. Converse. Because see they have given here PS by SQ is equal to PT by TR. That means in a triangle two sides are divided by a line in the same ratio. PS by SQ is equal to PT by TR. And also they have given here angle PST is equal to angle PRQ. So angle PST means it is from triangle PST, and this angle is equal to angle PRQ. PRQ. So PRQ, where is that? Here it is. PRQ is here. See the figure also at the same time. So PST is equal to angle PRQ. That's why they have made the same sign here. They have marked in the same manner. Now see, in two triangles, this angle is equal to this angle. Okay. The intercepted triangle you know already now. And original triangle is PQR. So one angle of intercepted is equal to one angle of the original triangle. Angle P is common there. Common means what? It is there in this triangle also. It is there in that triangle also. So if one angle is common means it is equal. That is the thing. Another angle is equal. You should understand like that. Now third angle will be surely equal. Because you know, sum of two angles, when you minus from 180, you will get the same there. So angle PTS will be surely equal to angle PQR. So what has happened now? Prove that PQR is an isosceles triangle they are asking. I showed all these things now, but you have to prove that PQR is an isosceles triangle. Now very simple it is. If it is an isosceles triangle, see now how you should take it. It's an isosceles. We have to prove it's isosceles triangle. Okay. So isosceles triangle means PQ is equal to SR. You have to prove. Now see, PST is equal to angle PRQ. But angle PST is also equal to PQR. It's given in the textbook. You can see also. Now what happens? This one angle is equal to this angle also. This angle also. Those two base angles, it is equal to this angle. So what is the meaning there? Two angles, when they are equal to one angle, they will be equal to each other also. So angle PQR is equal to angle PRQ. Therefore PQ is equal to PR. Therefore PQR is an isosceles triangle. That's all, children. So you have to understand from the textbook now. I have just explained you. So that is now time is also up. So I will be stopping here.